The following is a production of cprundown.com. The views and opinions expressed by the hosts of this podcast are those of the individual and not of any affiliated companies. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rundown on Fun, a weekly podcast covering the Six Flags Entertainment Corporation, the amusement industry, and everything to do with fun. Here are your hosts, Carson Anderson, Evan Schultz, and Kyle Hoop.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Rundown on Fun, a weekly podcast where we cover the Six Flags Entertainment Corporation, Cedar Point, and everything to fun. Boom. For not being here for like 3 weeks, I think I kind of nailed that one.
Right? You did a good job. You definitely did a good job. But you know what hasn't been a good job lately is trying to listen to find news and to have a podcast. I feel like we just need to have news to talk about. But besides it just being really hot, and I mean, honestly, like the rides for the most part, like Top Thrill 2 hasn't been acting up, and Siren's Curse maybe a smidge, but we'll get into that in just a minute. But I mean, yeah,
we have nothing left to talk about.
I'm happy to have you back, Kyle, because it's been forever and no one can see this. Yeah. You're in your new podcast office and everything like that, which is pretty dope. And you know what though? I have heard at the parks when people say hi to me, and they're like, they just hear my voice and they're like, "Hey, are you from the Rundown on Fun?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "We really miss Kyle. Where's he at?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. I think he might be retiring or something." And they're like, "No, make sure he comes back." And so we had to pull some strings to make sure Kyle signed on for. But yeah, for real. Are you excited to be back, Kyle?
It does. It feels. I'm excited to be back. It feels good to be back. I moved. If anyone couldn't pick up on that, I didn't move far, but I had to tear down the old podcast suite and everything else, and set everything back up. And then, as soon as I was done, we left. And we'll get into this later. But all three of us went to Canada, and it's just I've been busy. I haven't had time, but I'm glad to be built up again. I got my podcast suite back, and I'm ready to go.
Ready to rock and roll. Hopefully we'll get some.
Ready to go.
We'll actually be getting some news. I mean, honestly, because Halloween weekends will be starting, and also we've got to give our
announcement season coming too. I mean,
that too.
It's July 30th.
And then we also will be having our hype list for HHN coming soon, because I know a lot of people love our hype list. Even though we talk about Cedar Point and stuff, they're like, "We are excited to hear about your stuff." I'm not even kidding you. I'm not making up for this at all. Like legit. Like, so it's pretty.
We're mostly cool. Cedar Point podcast, but then when HHN rolls around, we are also an HHN podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to Universal and Epic Universe. I'll be there 2 weeks from right now, and then again 3 weeks after that. So yeah, I don't think my job is real happy with me, but that's okay. They give me the PTO time, and I'm going to use it.
Yeah. Right. Use it.
Yeah, we got stuff to talk about in the coming weeks.
Yeah, we do. So so I'm just gonna hit the ground running here. Siren's Curse has been running extremely well. And this isn't really a knock on Siren's Curse or the park or anything like that. But for the love of God, everyone needs to chill out for just a second. Now, I've listened to Tony on the radio program that he has on Monday mornings around 8:30. If you don't know what it is, feel free to message us, and I will be happy to send you the link on where to listen to. Or if you're local in Sandusky, you should know what radio station. But anyway, Siren's Curse has been having maybe some not crazy issues, but every now and again it might get stuck or
typical stuff.
It's typical stuff to where it's a brand new ride. It's going to have bugs in it. Number one. Number two, Tony put it this way on the radio program, and this is kind of what he said, not quote for quote, but if you think about it, and same with Top Thrill 2, because that's pretty much a brand new coaster, and Millennium Force, for instance. That's a brand new coaster it's got a brand new brain, a brand new lift hill, lots of new things. What happens when you are driving in your car and then all of a sudden the check engine light comes on, right? You're like, "Oh crap." Well, what's going to happen? You don't want to drive your car with the check engine light on, right? Like honestly, you don't want to you want to take it to a mechanic and see what is going on. Well, just think about like Siren's Curse, Top Thrill 2, Millennium Force, and pretty much, I mean, any coaster, if you think about it, because it's a machine, is quote unquote when a check engine light comes on a roller coaster or something, they have to pause it. They have to make sure things are okay. It's the computer system saying, hey, A is not okay with B, so we're not sending it because it's a safety measure. So everyone and all the news programs and everything are like, oh, I literally I was walking in one of the stores for my job the other day, and someone was like, oh, hey, did you hear Siren's Curse got stuck? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, it literally kind of paused itself for like a few minutes, and then it reset itself. And then maybe they can't release it because maybe the error is too faulty and it takes a long time for them to overwork the fault. And so they have to, what is it? They have to pull everybody off of the trains, and they have to, was it evac, right?
Yeah.
Evac.
Yeah.
Evacuate you off the trains and down the hill, and there you go. And so it's not anything out of the ordinary. It's all 100% safe, and it's all 100%, just normal procedure and things like that. But my God, is everyone just trying to find something to pick at and pull and say, oh yeah, the park's dangerous, or
I'm so sick of it, dude.
it's just calm down. It'll be okay. The ride is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. If it doesn't have all of its clears, it's not going to let the train go. And so it's going to stop, reset, and then maybe have to take you off or close for the day or something, but it'll be okay. It'll be okay.
Going back to your check engine analogy, or I guess
that was from Tony.
Tony's check engine analogy. If your check engine light comes on, does your car just spontaneously combust? No.
Right. Right.
It's fine. Just you'll want to look at something. So that's what you're gonna do.
Yeah. So
just because it stops on the lift hill, it's just like if Millennium stopped on its lift hill. It's just like if Corkscrew stopped on its lift hill. But for the love of God, people, and I'm specifically calling out Cleveland.com because they posted a really nasty article like an hour ago. And there's a radio DJ here in Cleveland in the mornings on 107.9. Feel free to message us, buddy. We'll explain to you how it works. He gets on the radio and he's calling, well, they need to close that ride. It's like, dude, you don't have any, not to sound pompous, but like, you don't have any knowledge of how this works.
Right. Everyone became like an armchair mechanic and was like, I know exactly what's going on with the ride.
Not even that. It's just, why do people automatically have to go to panic? Oh my God, this is going to kill me. It's like, no. Yeah. Like, let me sit down and talk to you how this works, how a block section works. It's not that big a deal.
It's like, watch the beautiful YouTube video that the park released that Tony made, and it shows how many fail safes and how many things that need to go check,
Coasters
and you're good.
So roller coasters and thrill rides are so over engineered and so redundant in their safety measures. It's not just one sensor that needs to say, yep, it's good. It's like dozens of sensors that need to say, yeah, it's good, you can drop. And even if one of those says no, it's not going to drop. Do you really want that ride going through the course if the ride itself isn't completely confident that the track is connected and everything's cool, or that it's not going to bump into the train at the other end? That all that it's seeing is more than likely is it's at the tilt track and the sensor thinks that there's a train at the other end of the track. It probably has nothing even to do with the tilt track.
Right.
It probably just thinks there's a train still stuck at the brake run. Just like every ride. That's like the 99% of issues you have with rides is block errors.
Yeah, a lot of the times
you reset it and then go about your day.
A lot of the times it's like one of the blocks, if for instance, like someone, like say the lift hill, there's a train on the lift hill and then it thinks there's a train in mid course or something, like it's like a phantom train or something. It's like, whoa, hang on a second. Let's hang on. And it's like, whoa, it could be a bird that flew over by the sensor, or even I remember back in the day, I think I watched like one of the greatest thrill videos or something on the Travel Channel, and they were talking about like how every morning they have to go out and make sure all the cobwebs and things like that are away from all the green sensor boxes, just because that will fault the ride too, because it sees anything and breaks whatever laser that it needs to break or whatever, then
it's going to think there's a train there.
exactly.
There was a time I was about to ride Mantis. Mantis. And seriously, a seagull flew through the mid-course break or like poked at a sensor or something
Yep.
and shut down the ride.
Right.
Like,
yeah. It'll be okay. Everyone just needs to take a breath. It'll be okay.
Give it a year, and when Siren Curse isn't the big new ride, nobody will even talk about it anymore, even when it does break.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
for sure.
anyways, Kyle, you rode Siren's Curse. What'd you think?
Yeah, you rode Siren. You're the last one of us or whatever that hasn't ridden Siren's Curse.
He was also the last of us to ride Top Thrill.
Yeah, that is true. But he is also like 900 some miles away from us. So to be fair, he doesn't visit the park as frequently as
I don't know, man.
as we do. But
between last year and this year, I counted. I've been to the park like 14 times.
Dude, that's not that far behind me.
Yeah,
like I've been a lot. Yeah. So a week ago today, as a precursor to our little yearly road trip that we go on, I visited Cedar Point. And I was alone for most of the day. But since people were, Carson, you were there, and
yeah,
Jared and everybody was there, but no one showed up until like 8:30, and the park closed at 10. So while I was alone, and I came straight from the airport, I had a 6 a.m. flight, landed in Detroit at 9, and I was at Cedar Point by like noon. So I had all day. So I went ahead and cashed in my my Fastlane Plus wristband that we got from Coaster Mania.
Yeah,
and it worked. Let me tell you, I ended up riding Siren's Curse something like 13 or 14 times or something like that. Everybody was telling me, "Oh, that line gets so long. That line gets so long." I don't know if I just caught it on a good day, but I never waited more than like 15 minutes in the Fastlane line.
That's
you
good.
Absolutely caught it on a good day.
You did, because normally that fast lane's like 45 minutes or so, or longer.
I also initially caught it at a good time. I got to the park, and funny enough, I had my suitcase with me. Like literally came straight from the airport. I had a suitcase and a backpack, and I was like, "Oh, what do I do with this?" If anybody ever needs to stash anything, the jumbo lockers in the front of the park, the $30 all day lockers, they will stash your suitcase and your backpack for you if anyone else runs into that problem. It was like 12:15, 12:30, and I'd been joking because my luck this year, everything's always broken when I'm there. I was like, "Oh, Siren's Curse is going to be closed. I'm at the park." And Evan, you were like, "Actually, I hate to be that guy, but it hasn't opened today." I'm like,
I was watching a few times all morning.
I was like, "Are you kidding me right now?" So I could have sworn that when I was coming down the causeway, I saw it tilt. So I figured it was testing, but once I got into the park, I hadn't actually seen anything. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go walk over and like see what's going on. Literally walked over to the ride, pulled out my phone and took a picture of the ride, not operating, but just of the ride. And as soon as I finished putting my phone away, the attendant was like, "Hey, line's open, everybody get in line." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I waltzed right in. I went straight to the metal detectors. I was on the second train of the day. Let me tell you all, you got yourselves a ride over there. That is so cool.
You liked it, huh?
Oh my God, I loved it. I'm not even kidding. I think that might be my favorite ride at the park.
Wow.
It's so re-rideable. I mean, as much as I love every other ride at Cedar Point, like my favorite was Maverick. I know it's a little controversial, but I'm a Maverick guy. I used to be able to marathon Maverick. I don't know if I could anymore. I'm probably good for about 3 or 4, and then I'd probably need to stop because it's like it's fun and it's smooth, but it's just so intense that you're getting thrown around and whipped around. I came out. I think that is my new favorite ride at the park. It just in terms of pure thrill and just fun. It's not rough. It has such good floater air. It's so smooth. I don't feel like I get whipped through all the elements. I feel like I get pulled through them. Like it's just oh my God, I cannot say enough good things about it. I rode as close to the front as row 2, and I rode as close to the back as row 11, and I rode pretty much everywhere in between. And I think my favorite of what I did, I think I'm a row 11 guy, closer to the back, when that tilt kicks in and you like go up instead of down or just kind of staying stationary. I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
And you know, you just spent the last 5 minutes or however long talking about how safe the ride is. I've never had a bigger oh crap moment on a ride before than when we got to the top of the hill and or the top of the lift and we started tilting. Just every single element is just glass smooth. I'm like, oh my god, I cannot say enough good things about it. The onboard,
it's got like good pacing and stuff and everything too.
It
like
has,
you go through those elements and you feel like you're like, it's just a blur. You don't even feel like you went through any of the heartline rolls or like any of the elements. You're like, wait, what?
It has phenomenal pacing. You never slow down. You always keep up the entire ride. I had not watched a POV. I mean, like I watched the animated POV when the ride got announced like a year ago, but I never watched any like real world POVs. I didn't watch your reverse POV. I didn't listen to any of the onboard audio. That onboard audio soundtrack is really cool, by the way.
Yeah.
Like,
yes,
really cool. I don't know if where this ride was going, if that onboard audio was like, obviously it would be different because the ride probably wasn't going to be Siren themed. But if that was always part of it, or when Cedar Point bought it, if they were like, hey, can we just add onboard audio? Probably not, right? Because the trains were already built. But
I would assume not.
But I mean, that was so cool. I loved the little, like hearing the bells in the background and like I don't know if it was real seagulls or if they had like seagull recordings in there.
They just set the microphone down by Lake Erie and they're like, seagulls, do your thing. Come on.
Yeah. You know? And when you start tilting, it sounds like creaking metal. And then when you drop, it's like the like the rock and roll.
Heavy rock music.
Yeah. But wow, like I said, I cannot say enough good things about it. Also, since I'm someone who pays attention to this kind of stuff, shout out to the crew, the Siren's Curse crew. Oh my god, they were dispatching like every 45 seconds. It was insane.
Yeah.
As soon as one would clear the tilt, they'd be sending another one. Like that was when I first saw this ride testing, I was like, oh my god, this line is just going to crawl because that takes so long to reset. No, not the case at all. Yeah. That crew is phenomenal.
They're dispatching very quickly for sure.
I really like the double-sided lockers. I think Cedar Point has swung and missed multiple times with the lockers, but my god, they got it right with this one.
Finally.
Yeah,
it's finally the right setup.
I was waiting in line, because I wrote it so many times throughout the day. Did any of you catch on or have you caught on to the fact that unless you're looking at the locker screens dead on, you can't see them?
No,
no, I haven't really.
It's like it has
That's
some of those.
Interesting.
It has like one of those privacy screen protectors on it almost, where if you're looking at it at an angle, it looks like it's turned off. So much
I actually have noticed that, but I've never even thought to think about that. But yeah, no, you're right.
Like the first 6 times I rode, I would go up and I'm dang, this locker station's down, this locker station's down. I'll go wait in line at this one. And then finally I put 2 and 2 together that every time I come in, a different one is broken, but a different one is, or, quote unquote broken, but a different one is working. And I finally went and looked at it, and you have to be looking dead on at it for it to actually to see it.
Okay.
I really like the area. Like I don't know, like when it first got built, I was like, oh, it's going to be cool, but I don't know if looking at that direction is necessarily going to be super interesting. But kind of doing the sweep with Lake Erie to your left and, Rougarou and Top Throw 2 and everything straight ahead of you, and then tilting down towards that midway, that's so cool. I was like waving at people down there and but yeah, I know I texted my line for the day was, man, I think Siren's Curse is a top 3 ride at Cedar Point, and let me tell you, it's not number 3 and it's not number 2. I like that ride a lot. That's a good ride.
So long and short, it's an A+ from Kyle.
That's an A+ for me.
And
I think what really sells it. Oh, go ahead.
No, go for it.
I think what really sells it for me is the onboard audio. Like, obviously, it would still be a super strong attraction with the tilt track and how smooth it is and the elements. Like, it'd still be a strong attraction. But what really puts it over the edge for me is that onboard audio. I didn't even talk about night rides yet. Night rides on that thing are insane. The lighting package is so cool. And one thing I really liked, I only got one night ride on it, so I'm going to have to do some more research. But one thing I thought was so cool, and definitely was just not intentional, but is just thematically on track for Cedar Point, is when you're going up the lift at night, and you get to the top and you hear like the dock bells and the creaking ships, you look out at Lake Erie and you actually see like the buoy lights and stuff like that, like blinking out in the water.
Yes.
It's so cool.
Yeah, no, I would definitely agree. I was going to say really quick, if anyone that's like just hanging out in the queue, pay attention to the queue music and things like that, because they actually have that theme too, because it's pretty much themed to almost like a local radio station. And if anybody doesn't know, you're pretty Siren's Curse is supposed to mimic being at like a old like shipyard kind of thing or whatever, and so they've got a bunch of music and things like that, and then they play different music, and then random radio DJs come on the radio and they talk about like what's upcoming news and upcoming things and stuff. So it's actually really cool. Kyle, really quick, did you break your curse on Top Thrill 2? Were you able to get on that a bunch?
Yes and no. I wrote it like 4 times. In typical Top Thrill 2 fashion, I get to the park and this thing is just running like a champ. Like just boom, 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 train after train. Every time I look over, there's a train on the top hat or the spike. Well, as soon as I go over, it starts being finicky. So I went and, like I said, I had fast lanes, so I went and put my stuff in a locker, and I walked, and I was almost to the queue stairs, and we get an announcement. It's not a downtime announcement, but they are closing the ride to put Blue Train on. At this point in time, it was just black and silver. They're like, we're gonna close for 15 minutes or whatever. They didn't actually give a time, but we're gonna close. We're gonna put Blue Train on. We're gonna put Black Train on. We're gonna put Blue Train on. About 15 minutes go by, and they're still putting Blue Train on. Blue Train finally gets put on, runs one single cycle with guests, and then faults, and then the ride goes down, and then they had to stop and pull Blue Train off and run it with 2 again. Anyway, after that, I didn't really have to sit through any downtime, so I did get on it I think 4 or 5 times. Something that I thought was really funny, and I'm not making fun of this guest at all, but I just wanted to share. I was in line in front of what I'm guessing was a dad with 3 kids. It was 2 boys and a girl. And the dad was talking. He's like, oh, this used to be Top Thrill Dragster. I used to ride it all the time. I loved it. And the kids had never been on it. And they didn't quite know what the ride was. And finally, I start listening to what they're saying. And the dad isn't even really sure what he's in line for. He's telling the kids, he's like, yeah, this one over here goes 120. I don't know what that one does. And I'm listening, and I'm like, what's he talking about? Like, I don't understand what he's saying, that this one goes and that one doesn't. So I don't say anything. I listen a little bit longer. And finally, I think he could tell that I was kind of listening in on this conversation. He goes, am I in line for Top Thrill 2 right now? And I go, yes, you are. And he's like, okay, cool. So he's looking at the original top hat, and he's like, so that's Top Thrill 2. What's that one over there? And he points at the spike. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, this one's Top Thrill 2. Is that one the original Top Thrill Dragster? I was like, wait a minute. What do you think is going on? And he's like, these are 2 separate rides, right? Which one am I in line for? I'm like, no, these are not 2 separate rides, buddy. Like, it's all one ride. You go forward, backward, forward again. I just wanted to tell that story. Long story short,
good, yeah.
Long story short, yes, I did break my curse. I really only had to wait through 1 downtime, and that's
good.
Just a train fault. And later in the night, I think I ended up riding Blue Train, so I think they ended up figuring out whatever's wrong with it and putting it back on.
Right.
But yeah. And then besides that, what else did I do at Cedar Point? I rode Maverick. I rode Steel Vengeance. I rode Magnum. I don't think I rode Millennium Force this trip. I think I got enough of that.
Ooh.
I rode Wild Mouse. I had some drinks at the Grand Pavilion. Boardwalk Nights was going on when I was there. I didn't even know that was going on right now. I probably shouldn't be hosting
Yeah.
this podcast, but Boardwalk Nights was going on. That was pretty cool.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of super high level, my day at Cedar Point. A whole lot of Siren's Curse rides, a handful of Top Thrill 2, and then a couple of my other favorites.
That sounds awesome. I'm glad you had such a good time where you were able to pretty much ride whatever rides you really wanted to ride. It didn't seem like you had like a crazy issue or things like that, which is really good.
I know we already said this, but I would just like to thank the entire events team at Cedar Point one more time for providing all of us that attended Coaster Mania with a all-day Fastlane Plus wristband. Definitely was not something that was needed. I don't even think the event this year warranted them giving out a single-use Fastlane, let alone a full day. But very appreciative. That made what is probably going to be my last trip of this season very, very, very enjoyable. I don't think I'm going to make it out for Halloween weekend, so I'm glad that on my last trip of the year, Siren's Curse was open. Top Thrill 2 was open. I was able to ride both of those and get on some of my other favorites. And that was a perfect time. Kind of set the mood for my trip. But before we talk about that, I think we're going to talk about Boardwalk Nights since I just kind of segued us into it.
Oh yeah. Oh, well, actually, let's talk a little bit about. I think Evan's having some internet issues right now.
I'm back.
Is he back? Okay.
Yeah, a little behind the scenes. The entire time Kyle was talking, I was fighting with my internet and dropping out. And stuff.
Evan probably doesn't even know what I was talking about, so that's pretty cool.
No, I have no.
To the podcast.
The only bit I heard was when I got over to Top Thrill 2, and then you were talking, and then I lost internet.
All right.
I gained it back for like 10 seconds and heard you talking about this guy that didn't know that Dragster and Top Thrill 2 were different rides or something.
Yeah, he thought
I lost internet again.
He thought the Top Hat and the Spike were different rides. He's like, which one's Top Thrill and which one's Top Thrill 2?
That's
a fair assessment. I mean, until you see the train go back and forth.
Well, but where we were
running on
the what?
Say again, Kyle?
Where we were in the line, he couldn't tell. We couldn't see anything, All he could see the Spike and he could see the Top Hat, and that was it. Nothing in between.
Nice. I mean, that's kind of cool. But Evan, you wanna continue on our announcements?
Yeah, I'm running on my mobile hotspot right now, so this is fun. Because that's always worked really well in the past.
Yeah.
Anywho, what are we going to Boardwalk Nights? Is that where we're going?
Yeah.
Sorry, this has gone completely off the rails.
It's all good.
So yeah, we were at Boardwalk Nights, the opening night for Boardwalk Nights. Carson, I don't know if you've been since, or if Kyle, if you got to check it out at all. We kind of talked about this the last episode, but it's largely the same as far as events go. There's a couple new acts and stuff. The big new, I guess, thing is this year is that they definitely have more food options specific to Boardwalk Nights. Those of you that missed the lobster bisque at Grand Pavilion, well, you got a whole month this season to get it at Boardwalk Nights.
It's not on the meal plan. It isn't on the meal plan. It is not.
Hey, before
if you want it, you have to pay for it.
Before we go any further, can I ask where all the specialty food for Boardwalk Nights is? Do I have to order it like upstairs in Grand Pavilion?
Oh yeah.
Do you know?
There is a tray, a food truck over
the food
by
truck.
the
Windseeker area.
Yeah, in front of the picnic grove.
So the food truck does not have the items that they like. So little preface to this story. I was a little drunk. I was wandering around the park. I don't have dining plan, so I was like, I want something to eat. I want something good to eat. And I was over by the Legacy Walk, and I saw this like A-frame sign with pictures of like these crazy hot dogs and like these like 4 or 5 different food items that just said Boardwalk Nights exclusive. I went over to the food truck. They were not there. I went to Grand Pavilion downstairs. They were not there. I went to the nacho bar. They were not there. No idea where any of this is.
Well, it's supposed to be at the food truck.
Definitely is
Yeah.
not.
That's what I was led to believe.
There are some food.
Yeah,
there are
they
some
have-
food items there, but it's.
What were
But
you
not all.
looking for specifically?
Let me
Like
let
the
me,
hot dog?
Yeah, let me pull up like the Boardwalk Nights website. You can keep talking, and I'll see if I can figure it out.
Okay.
Well, at any rate, there is new food somewhere within the event. Karsten got to try the pierogies, but they were given to him by a friend, so we're not really sure where they came from. There's a bunch of specialty drinks and all that good stuff. But just the overwhelming thing with Boardwalk Nights, as with last year, is it's just a really fun time. It's got a really good vibe. The opening cavalcade it's got the same super catchy song, and we get to see all the floats again, and you know the grand finale or whatever they call it is it's a little fireworks show, and don't expect a full fireworks show, but and you get to see booms in the air, so that's fun.
All right, can I derail this again really quick? Okay, so
we've been off the rails since I lost internet.
We're good. So on the
Right.
website, there's donut on a stick, mahi fish tacos, lobster bisque, pierogies with sour cream, jalapeno poppers, and pickle on a stick. The food truck had pickle on a stick, jalapeno poppers, and donut on a stick. I could not find the mahi, I could not find the lobster bisque, and I could not find the pierogies.
Well, the lobster bisque was definitely downstairs. It's like towards the end. I know that.
Interesting.
Because
I was wanting those mahi tacos. About the only place I didn't check was the bar.
I'm not 100% sure where everything's at because I haven't really tried any of the food this year. I haven't had an opportunity. I do plan to do it this weekend. But I know that
figure that out. Report back just in time for Boardwalk Nights to end.
Yeah, right. The food truck. I finally found a photo that I took. It has the pick. It has
the menu
the,
shows everything.
It has the pickle. It has the boardwalk pierogies. It's got the dynamite donuts. It's got the soft pretzel with cheese and the Windseeker poppers, which are those jalapeno poppers. Those are all listed at the boardwalk food truck that they've got.
So where are like the mahi tacos and the pierogies and stuff like that?
And there is a specialty hot dog this year, I think.
Yeah, like I saw pictures of all these items, but I could not find them anywhere.
I have a picture, and this picture says the flaming elote dog, and then the mahi tacos. This was pictured when you would walk up the stairs in Grand Pavilion.
So
maybe it is at the bar.
They're probably at the bar then, the one place I didn't check. But I was at the bar drinking. Good Lord.
It's a good possibility, and plus you were, very intoxicated, so maybe you just were.
I wasn't. I had 2 drinks, man. I wasn't that bad.
You
very intoxicated. Jesus, we're painting a picture that Kyle's some alcoholic.
I had 2 drinks.
It's fine. It's fine. They must have been very strong drinks, but.
Anyway,
I have a feeling they're either at the bar or they could be where the nacho stand is. But I will report back, and we will have a full, we will have a full report. We'll have a full report. We will have a podcast next week. Dang it! And we will talk about where all the stuff is at. Because we have until August 12th or 17th or something until Boardwalk Nights goes. So we still got some time. So
something like that.
Anyway, Evan, do you want to continue on?
What
about
else? It's been raining a lot, and a bunch of people decided that the flooded Cedar Point midways are a great pool for some reason.
That was weird.
That's so disgusting. Don't swim in that water, people.
I do not recommend ever swimming in flood water because 1, you don't know what's in that water. 2, there's electricity all over the place, so there could be something that's shorted or something.
I'm less worried about that. But guys, the reason that water is there is because the drains are clogged and backing up. What the hell do you think is in those drains that you could swim in?
Right.
I mean, it's so nasty.
It's a flash flood for a reason. I mean, even Cleveland had issues, and it rained like 3 inches in like less than an hour. It's like, where the hell is all that water supposed to go?
I know.
And plus
that
they're
was absolutely
surrounded by
crazy,
water.
and I'm glad I wasn't there.
It was crazy because I posted the photo on our CP Run on Facebook page, and
Some
literally
guy thought it was photoshopped. Sorry.
there's so many people that were like, "Oh, that's photoshopped or that's AI or whatever." And I was sent the photo. I wasn't there, but I was sent the photo, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I didn't realize it was going to create like 3 million people were going to see it. I was like, "Oh my god!" Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. But anyway,
I'm sure Cleveland.com thinks Cedar Point is unsafe now because something happened.
well, there's a bunch of comments that I've had to delete because they're like, they should close the park. It's really unsafe. It's going underwater. And I'm like, oh my God. It's the same people that are like, Siren's Curse is unsafe. Tear it down. But anyway,
but these are the same people that would swim in that water given the opportunity.
Yeah, right. But anyway, speaking of a great opportunity, Evan, talk about what is going on sale tomorrow, because I'm making Kyle post this tonight. Dang it.
I don't know, man. So tomorrow, and I don't have the actual details in front of me because they haven't been officially posted on Cedar Point's website. Who has already posted them? I think Carowinds did.
Kind of, but the prices are
potentially a little different.
They change a smidge, but season passes for 2026 are going on sale. Woo-woo.
Yes,
I already bought my season pass for 2026.
Yeah,
he did.
He went to Canadas Wonderland.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for Cedar Point at least, and probably I think the rest of the parks that haven't put them on sale yet, season passes are going on sale tomorrow. That would be your gold pass and your prestige pass, and it is stupidly cheap. It is. I'm looking at a gold pass right now because for some reason the Carowinds website only brought up a gold pass. It is a whopping $95, and if you buy the pass before I think Labor Day, right? Is that
before September 1st?
So yeah, Labor Day,
July 31st through September 1st.
It is good now through the end of 2026. So you get August, September, October, and if applicable, Winterfest at your parks, which just got canceled at some of the parks. Anyways, you get access to Carowinds and every other Six Flags Entertainment Corporation property through 2026. So if you're buying your Carowinds pass, not only are you getting Carowinds, you're also getting Six Flags Over Georgia. You're also getting Kings Dominion. You're also getting Schlitterbahn in Texas. You're also getting Cedar Point. You're getting Kings Island. You're getting Six Flags Great America. You're getting everything. You're getting free parking. You're getting a free Bring a Friend ticket. It includes the Haunt event, your Winterfest event, and more. It says, and yeah, it's if you buy it now until Labor Day or July 31st to Labor Day, you're getting that gold pass, and basically they're just giving you the all park passport for free, which is insane. Like actually, absolutely insane. I don't know why I can't find the prestige pass. It only brings up the gold pass.
I'm gonna tag on to you a little bit because Tony actually sent us like a press release. And it's going to be the lowest price of the year. So everybody that emails us and comments us or whatever, make sure you buy it now between now and September 1st, because the price will go up in September 2nd. Okay. Make sure you,
I found the prestige pass price through Carowinds. It's $195.
Okay.
And you get two free Bring a Friend tickets.
That'll give you kind of like a rough estimate ish. We don't know what Cedar Point's is because it hasn't been released.
Right.
A little bit more going into that. So you get, you like Evan said, you get 2025, and then you also get a Bring a Friend ticket bonus. It says, this is exactly what it says. It says 2026 gold passes purchases will include one bonus 2025 Bring a Friend ticket, which is actually pretty cool. You can bring a friend this year still, which is cool. 2026 prestige passes purchases will include two bonus 2025 Bring a Friend tickets, and Bring a Friend tickets are going to be valid through the end of 2025. So you get one Bring a Friend ticket for gold if you purchase a 2026 pass, or if you get a prestige, you get two Bring a Friend tickets for this season. which is awesome, cool, right? And then also it says that obviously they must be purchased by September 1st to receive all these benefits. And the benefits are what it is including the all park passport. Don't know how much that's going to be. I know right now, if you wanted to buy a prestige pass to include a all park passport, I think it's like $85 to $90 or something. So, I mean, you're saving quite a bit, and you're getting a lot of, like, you're getting over 40 parks, like Evan said. Here's
Insane.
a little
Absolutely
nerd a thing that they included on the release. It says you get access to 288 roller coasters with 133 miles of track, 282 family rides, 970 water slides, 234 pools, and more than 913 signature entertainment experiences, like the fall fun and
what poor intern
and Fright Fest and Halloween haunts and winter celebrations like Holiday in the Park and Winterfest.
I find it interesting that they specifically name both the Six Flags version and the Cedar Fair version.
What is also interesting is they are actually getting rid of and saying bye-bye to what was their fast, it's not fast lane,
Flash pass.
Flash Pass is going bye-byes. So after the end of the season, Flash Pass will be no more, and all of the legacy Six Flags parks that currently had that will convert to Fast Pass.
Is that confirmed? Is that actually confirmed?
That is confirmed. Yes, you can go on a website. I actually looked through, I think, Carowinds website, and it's in the Q&As, and it was saying something about like what's going to happen if I buy the all season fast lane, like, and what's going on with whatever of that. So make sure you buy your pass. Buy your pass. This is going to be the cheapest. I think Kyle got a gold pass like for $99 and bought like a drink with the ice cream.
I got a gold pass for every park. I mean, it's Canada's Wonderland, but it has the all park passport for the rest of this year and all of next year, plus all season drinks for $119 US.
Nuts.
Now,
absolutely nuts.
Now, we also should say that wherever you buy the pass, you must redeem it at that park. So if Kyle bought it at Carowinds, he needs to go to Carowinds and he needs to redeem it at that park.
See, Kyle bought his Canadas Wonderland pass while we were sitting in our Airbnb about 10 minutes away from Canadas Wonderland, so it makes sense. And he activated it immediately.
And also the thing is Kyle's home park is going to be Canada's Wonderland, meaning all of his perks, all of everything that he gets and things like that will be for Canada's Wonderland. It won't be for Cedar Point. It won't be for Carowinds. It won't be for Magic Mountain.
I do want to explain that a little further. So the only thing this year that's been really affected by that is pass perks, which is, you visit 3 times in July and you get an extra 20% off on.
Hey man, that's like 40% off.
Well, true. But now, this didn't happen this year. This year, Siren's Curse pass holder preview was every pass holder. It didn't matter what your home park was.
Right.
Top Thrill 2 last year, it did matter. It was home park only. If your home park was Cedar Point, you could go to Top Thrill 2 pass holder day. If your home park was Kings Island or any of the others, you could not go to Top Thrill 2. So just be aware. If you are willing to take that risk, I think next year, since Cedar Point isn't opening any new rides that we know of or anything super huge, you're probably safe. Any pass holder previews, you're probably going to be included in. But when they open a 600-foot aqua tracks in Lake Erie in 2029, you might want to be aware.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. So
just disclaimers, and don't be coming at us saying that we told you to buy it and now you can't get your pass perks and your extra 25% off on a Slurpee or whatever.
Hey, you can get really good discounts on the merch. Actually, don't be knocking that. That's actually really, I know you don't buy a whole lot of merch like shirts and stuff like that, but I mean, it comes in handy when the shirt's like 50 or not 50, but like $30 or something like that. And you can save like 35 to 40% off because you can stack that. A lot of the times, like the pass perks, you can get like 20% off, but then they also let you stack your season pass discount on top of that. So I was able to stack my Prestige Pass with my pass perk and got 35% off a shirt, which was freaking nice.
Nice. Well, there you go. But if you're willing to, I mean, look, you go enough that pass perks are worth it.
Yeah.
I really don't. I went twice in July.
Yeah,
So somebody like me, now that's because I went to Canadas Wonderland twice, but my park visits overall definitely weren't down. But somebody like me, do I really give a rat's ass about pass perks? Not really. For somebody like me, if Canadas Wonderland passes are that much cheaper, I probably would feel okay doing a Canadas Wonderland pass. Now, if I have to, even though I'm renewing, quote unquote, do I have to go to Canadas Wonderland first still? I'm not really sure, and that's something you should check.
So
I can substantially cheaper otherwise.
I can answer this because I have currently right now I technically have a Cedar Point Gold Pass that's only good at Cedar Point, and a Canadas Wonderland Pass that's good everywhere. And I tried to renew my Cedar Point Gold Pass because you can, through Canadas Wonderland, you could renew and get the same deal, and it would not let me because it was a Cedar Point Pass and not a Canadas Wonderland Pass.
Oh,
well, there's your answer then.
You do have to buy a brand new one.
Renew.
Yep.
So what you're saying is I should have renewed before we went to Canadas Wonderland last week, or I should have bought a new pass before we went to Canadas Wonderland next week if I wanted to buy it through Canada.
Yep.
Oh well.
And see, for me, it worked because Evan, kind of like you said, I live, however many hundreds of miles away. I'm not going to season pass ride night or, the dollar hot dog days. And
oh wow,
do they even still do those anymore?
No.
Probably
that was a memory on that.
Yeah, and I was looking at it, and I could have added the all park passport to my current pass for $80, or for $120, I could have bought a new one plus the drinks for this year and next year. So it made sense for me to do it.
Yeah, especially since you're already going to Wonderland.
Yeah, and it would have only been $99. It would have only been $99, but I added the drinks on top of it, so that's where that extra money came from.
That is absolutely insane.
It's a good deal. It's a crazy, crazy good deal. So everybody jump on this offer when it goes live, or if your park is already live, because I know some parks are already live.
Yeah, Carowinds, Canadas Wonderland, I think over Georgia.
Magic Mountain.
It's weird. It's been a weird rollout.
It has been, and I don't think we've ever had, I could be wrong, but I don't think we've ever had a press release and then saying, oh, by the way, you can buy passes next week.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about our
Falls in Canadas Wonderland last week.
Yeah, we sure did.
That was fun.
That was fun.
I already went this year, so
yeah.
It wasn't anything new to me, but what did you guys think? Carson, you and I already talked about on here a couple of weeks ago what my thoughts on Canadas Wonderland were, but what did you guys think? Because you guys hadn't been there in a few years.
You want me to go, or do you want to go?
I want to. I'll go, and then you can.
Yeah, tag me in when you're done.
I was going to say. Okay, I was going to say. It's the same beautiful park that I always remembered it. It's actually, I think, more beautiful than when I first visited. I think in
Striker was the last time.
2019, I think, right?
Yeah.
So, I feel like, first of all, Alpen Fury. Oh my God! Everybody needs to buy a passport and go up
and an all park passport.
Well, okay, so you need to get a passport for the United States going to Canada, and then you need to make sure that you get an all park passport with your pass to the Six Flags parks, and a legit visit Canada's Wonderland, because Alpen Fury doesn't mess around, and their coaster lineup, it's definitely coming around. They've definitely, Leviathan's solid and really good. Alpen Fury is absolutely out of this world. I don't understand. You you start off with a launch and you're like, okay, cool. And then you go diving down into the tunnel and it's dark in the tunnel. And then all of a sudden all hell breaks loose and you're like, wow. And you're just like launching super duper fast and trying to get all the way up. And you're like going just all the way up the top of the up the inside
And
the
it
mountain.
doesn't, it's not
And
slow. It
no,
doesn't creep over that inverted top
no,
hat by any
no.
means.
It's
It
fast,
does
man.
not mess around.
Yeah, no, it's fast. And you know what? I don't think I've eaten that many beaver tails ever since visiting Canada's Wonderland. If anybody is familiar with the beaver tails, I used to have them at Cedar Point. You can get like different toppings. They're almost like a hat, like an elephant ear with like toppings and frostings and things
They're
like on
so
them.
good.
They're so good.
Our friend Jared ate like 11 over the weekend.
He did. Yeah, he did. He loves the beaver tails for sure. A very clean park, very well run park, I would say. Operations were really good. Didn't have the food was actually surprisingly really good. Like we had some pizza the second day. We also had like the barbecue. The barbecue was really good.
We ate at Lazy Bear Lodge twice. It was fantastic.
We did, and it's really cool because like I remember being there in 2019, and that wasn't there. And let me just say that's a huge building that they decided to build on like the edge of a cliff, and it's really cool to see like just the drop down, and you can eat like almost on the deck above the hill and stuff and everything like that. So that was really cool. I also want to say Yukon Striker, still phenomenal. That's their dive coaster there, just like Valraven. It's a lot better. I say, at least in my opinion, it's better than Valraven.
That's not a contest. Sorry.
And then I honestly think, like, after riding that and also getting to ride Wrath of Rakshasa, I kind of think Wrath of Rakshasa isn't as like the best dive coaster that I was thinking, because Wrath of Rakshasa is a good dive coaster and it's got like the good pacing, and it goes through the elements and in a very quick turn, but it's kind of short compared to Yukon Striker, and that's a really good one. And then also we got to ride a bunch of the flats too. That was freaking awesome. I got to ride Skyhawk, which is their version of.
I could have lived without Sledgehammer. That's all I'm gonna say.
Is their version of, I don't know what it's called, but it's pretty much like these airplanes that you want to like
Dragon Racer Rally.
You have control of the airplane rudder. Is it rudders or the wings? And you got to like make yourself like flip, and you can flip yourself and everything. So that's really cool. I really enjoyed that. I don't think you guys were able to flip it, but I've got some past experience, so I was able to flip it, and you guys saw how wild I was getting with.
I was getting tired, and then I started laughing at you, so I just gave up.
There was that, but Kyle, what do you want to add? I know you haven't been since for maybe longer than I have, and what was your thoughts?
So the last time I went to that park was in 2018. So Yukon Striker wasn't there. I'm pretty sure that whole Frontier Canada area wasn't there. At least I don't think so.
I think so.
A bunch of the flat rides are new. Obviously, Yukon Striker, Alpen Fury was new for me. When I went in 2018, I thought it was a really good park, but it felt a little like not dirty, but like just a little outdated. Like not bad, but just a little like old. And that was one of the things that I was curious to see this time, was if they had fixed that. And I think they did a great job. That whole Frontier Canada area looks awesome. Like you said, that big restaurant. I didn't eat there, but I know you guys went twice. It looks really nice. It looks like they've been taking time and care to spruce up different parts of the park. And I was really glad to see that. Yukon Striker, since we were just talking about it, man, what a ride. I'm not really a huge dive coaster person, but that ride was so cool. It was awesome. Definitely definitely the best dive I've ever been on. And I can't believe you didn't talk about this, but we made a raccoon friend in line.
That's right.
We did.
Yeah, there was a raccoon.
There was a little raccoon hanging out in the rafters in the station that I thought was just part of the theming, and then Then he looked at me. Then he turned his head and looked at me. I'm like, oh, he's real.
Yeah, so I, like you, Carson, I'd not been in a long time. Leviathan was just as good as I remembered it. Behemoth was a blast. And Alpenfury.
That was a good lap on Behemoth.
Yeah. And Alpenfury. Just because I got one of those little Premier launch coasters, not that one's little, but just because I have one of those little Premier launch coasters in my backyard, I wasn't super, super, super excited for it. I go on Icebreaker at SeaWorld quite a bit, and that's a pretty compact ride, and it's just full of ejector airtime. And ejector airtime plus those really tight transitions in and out of elements on those trains does not equal a super comfortable ride. And I was worried that Alpenfury would have kind of the same ride feel. Not at all. Alpenfury is glass smooth. It doesn't toss you around. I mean, it's wild. Don't get me wrong. It's a wild ride, but it's so smooth. The first time I rode it how I ride Icebreaker, where I ride super stiff and I try to brace myself and kind of move before the transitions. And I was like, oh man, that was fun. That was really fun, but I don't think I needed to ride like that. Like, I think I can loosen up a lot. So the next time I rode it super loose and just kind of let my body do what it was going to do. And that was a much better ride. I really liked that ride. It doesn't stop either. Once you blast out of that mountain, you're go till you hit the brake run. And it's also cool to add a fourth coaster to the mountain now, because you have Vortex, the
Thunder Run, Vortex, Alpenfury,
Wonder Mountain,
Guardian.
Yeah.
Wonder Mountain's Guardian is still one of the dumbest rides I've ever been on, but that's not, such a stupid ride. I'm sorry. I was so hyped up about that. It's just like, oh.
But I hadn't been to the park since 2018, and I did have a great time when I went in 2018, but I was a little skeptical to go back. But I think they redeemed themselves. It was a great park. Believe it or not, I know you guys all had beaver tails and you were eating your 2 meals a day and everything. The only food I had there was the poutine over by Alpenfury. It was really good.
Yes.
My only complaint though is it was like boiling hot. Like the fries, I literally watched them take the fries out of the fryer, put them in my basket, and then get like boiling hot gravy and pour it over top. That was too hot to touch or eat for like 15 minutes, but it was so good.
That was funny too, because we're like, hey, we're about to go get in line, and the line was really short, and we're like, hey, we're about to go ride, and you're like, oh, I need a minute, this stuff's really hot.
Yeah.
We're like, come on, Kyle, hurry up, and he's like, I'm trying really hard. And I just looked over, and it's like lava hot. And he's like,
watching Kyle like huff and puff, and his face is all red. Because hey, don't complain about food being hot at an amusement park, because man, there was a time.
Right. And besides that, I think the only ride I sat off of all weekend was what's it called? Is it called Flight Deck at Canadas Wonderland, the SLC?
Yeah.
I did not ride that.
So much.
But I rode everything else.
That was a bad ride.
Everything else was
Dragonfire. You didn't ride Dragonfire.
Oh, yeah, I didn't.
If Six Flags is getting rid of coasters,
let's talk about trimming the fat.
Can we get rid of the flight deck?
God, that ride sucked.
I will go out on a limit, and I do like SLC coasters. I do, yes. I liked riding T3 at was it Kentucky Kingdom?
Yeah, but that doesn't shoulder harnesses boxing your head in.
I don't know. I don't have that issue. I don't know how, but I don't have that issue. But I have never had an issue to where I literally got off of a roller coaster and my stomach was legit hurting. Like it was
not nauseous,
rough, shaky, and then it was also like searching through the whole entire track where it was just like wobbling all around and at high speeds, and it was just
because not only does that stupid thing shuffle you left and right, but somehow it shuffles you forward and back, so you're just getting like gut punches the whole ride.
Yeah.
Look at where Vekoma started, right?
Right.
Like that. And then look how far they've come with Siren's Curse.
Right.
It's insane that the same manufacturer made those same 2 rides. Unbelievable.
And some some guy, that was maybe like, oh, this is what we need to do. We need to move this piece of steel like 3 inches to the left, and then it'll be super
Everything will be fine.
smooth. And like, what? And then boom,
And
there it is. Like,
I
I
also want
just
to mention the
understand.
morons, and I'm just going to say morons. There was 2 people that had Fastly that we were watching them just lap flight deck. We're like, what are you doing?
Those would be the ones that, like, when Six Flags doesn't announce that they're closing the ride,
they're the ones that are going to throw.
they'll be like, I'm at a
Hey,
misflight
clearly
deck.
they have a reason because they voted with their feet and they were trying to get those ridership numbers up.
Yeah, right, man. I do want to say, really cool. If anyone's never done it, make sure you go to Niagara Falls. Check that out. Really cool, nice little pit stop. Got to do Maid of the Mist,
so fun.
which is
Maid of the Mist, whatever it's called,
which is really cool. Got completely soaked. Saw Kyle peacock around and say, "Oh, I got my rain suit. I'm gonna be great. I don't need the rain poncho that they're gonna give to me." And literally, we're all like kind of soaked in the face a little bit, and like maybe towards
dry
like
otherwise
our shoes and stuff. But Kyle, on the other hand, peacocking around, was soaked from literally. Not his poncho, but literally his poncho like peed all over his shorts, and so his shorts were absolutely soaked.
I got wet,
which was absolutely hilarious, but it was cool. It was fun stuff.
And we rode the stupid Burger King coaster.
Yeah, there's a coaster on Burger King, which is kind of weird and awkward and very janky, very, very janky. Like if you think of a Burger King coaster and you think about it in your head, and
we kind of got a bonus lap, and I don't know if it was because we overshot the station or if he just let us go again, but you're only supposed to ride it twice, and we went 3 times.
Yeah, that was fun, I guess.
I think the guy was just having so much fun listening to what's going, God, no. And he's
also,
like, this is fun.
While there is an intense storm rolling in, we get off of that, we go look at the falls, and all of a sudden the temperature drops like 20 degrees and the wind picks up, and we go sprinting to the casino.
Yeah, and it's lightning right above us. We're on the rooftop and whatever, and I'm like in my head, I'm like, oh God, I think this is not gonna be a good thing. And then we got to also ride Boo Blasters. I got to do that.
Did I talk about that a couple weeks ago? The little ghost. It's called
idea.
Ghost Blasters.
Ghost Blast. Okay.
In one of the arcades there in Niagara Falls, they have something called Ghost Blasters, and if you ride it, the theming is the same as Boo Blasters at Kings Island and Carowinds and all that. It's Sally Dark Rides, the maker of that, has a ride model named Ghost Blasters, and that is the ride model that Kings Island and Cedar Fair in general bought to replace Scooby-Doo. But not only that, there's a few standalone attractions that were built as Ghost Blasters. Niagara Falls has one, Lake Compounds has one. But yeah, it was like really weird riding through that. I'm like, I feel very at home. And then I got out and I was in a stinky, crappy arcade.
And it was nice because they had like different targets. They had updated targets, and the guns were.
Yeah, it was like super new, and they had like a digital score, like a video screen scoreboard on the cars, and
it wasn't just the red text of your score is blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but what we really need to talk about: screw Canadas Wonderland, screw Niagara Falls, even screw Waltmere.
Okay,
Niagara Amusement Park. What an amazing park, am I right?
So I don't want to knock on the park because the park is still up and coming and it needs a lot of tender loving care because it was closed down and they did get rid of a lot of their rides. So I do have to give the owner that owns Indiana Beach bought this a few years ago, and he is currently still trying to fix it up. And you could definitely see that there are, there is, at least to me, there's a little bit of showing of like, hey, we're working on it, and I want to say, give it 5 years. And if it's still like that, then poo-poo the park. Okay. But give it 5 years and see what happens with the park and support the park.
You can give it 5 years. I'm not going back.
Backstory on this. What did you say, Kyle?
I said, you can give it 5 years. I'm not going back.
Okay, fine.
So I do want to give a little backstory on this dumpy little park. In my childhood, I knew of it as Martin's Fantasy Island, and it's on Grand Island in New York. It's like 2 exits away from the Rainbow Bridge off of Niagara Falls. and it was always a dumpy little park, but it had a little charm, and I don't know, it was family owned or whatever. Then and I visited it probably about 10 years ago, and there's a really good wooden roller coaster, and they had a few carnival rides that were more permanent. They didn't look like they were plopped down over the night. They seemed like a regular theme park, but they were carnival rides, but still they seemed more permanent, and the park was clean and kind of busy. And then over a course of years, Martin, I guess, whoever Martin was or whoever was owning the park at the time, sold it to somebody, and then somebody sold it to somebody, and then Apex Parks got a hold of it, which is the same company that owned Indiana Beach at the time. Well, they decided to close. They decided to close Indiana Beach. They decided to close Fantasy Island. And Indiana Beach, they didn't really do a whole lot of damage on their way out, so to speak. They pretty much just closed the gates and left. For whatever reason, Fantasy Island, they're like, screw it, we're going to gut this place. And pretty much all that was left was Silver Comet, the CCI wooden roller coaster that, aside from the issues with the rest of the park, that ride, that I really like that ride. That
was a good ride.
Wooden roller coaster.
That was a good coaster
with an awesome, unique layout. And it's a Comet, like it moves through that course. But they pretty much left that and like the entrance buildings, and there's like a little weird Western town. That's it. Every flat ride they ripped out, probably sold it for scrap. And the park was abandoned. And then fast forward through COVID, and Gene Staples buys Indiana Beach and buys Fantasy Island, which is all well and good. Indiana Beach is rocking and rolling. I mean, they're doing better than they ever have. Meanwhile, Fantasy Island, now named Niagara Amusement Park, we'll call it Gene Staples' scrapyard because there's just rides that he bought from places that are plopped down in the midways, but there's no fences. They're not operable. There's no paint. It's really weird. And there was nobody there. And you're walking around in this park, and it's like, it feels like an abandoned theme park still.
Yeah.
And it's really, really strange. Like the old Revolution from Six Flags Great America, which was a Frisbee style ride with the seats facing inward. That's at Niagara Amusement Park now. And it's just sitting in the middle of the midway. There's no fence around it. Only like half of the ride platform is built. It's really weird. There's pieces of roller coasters in the parking lot that probably will never get built. One of them, which is the Lightning Loop, the old Lightning Loop from Kennywood from way back when, which was a Schwarzkopf launch coaster. Like, man, that would be so awesome to get that up and running. But it's just like, unfortunately, it seems like every bit of money they got is going into Indiana Beach, which is great. Indiana Beach is a phenomenal park, and I recommend it to everybody. But then Niagara Amusement Park is just there, and it has Silver Comet. It's a fantastic ride, and it's running really well. It's not rough. And they have another like Wildcat style coaster that's fine, but it's just plopped down on gravel and weeds and grass, which is really odd. I would get to this park sooner than later because I think we made about half of the attendance that day.
I don't know. Maybe it gets busier. Like maybe because we visited, early in the afternoon, maybe, or in the morning.
But the park is only open till like 6 every night.
Maybe late afternoon. Maybe they get a rush or something. Who knows?
Something's got to be keeping them open. But
yeah, there's got to be something that's definitely keeping them open. But I do want to shout out that there was a lot of staff that was hired there.
All the workers were running everything, and they had like 3 workers for every ride, but and they were all super nice, and I wish them nothing but the best.
Yeah,
but good Lord, please, Gene, put some money into this park. This whole rant I went on is because I I don't want to see another park close. Six Flags America's closing, California's Great America's closing, and ZDT's in Texas is closing. We don't want these small parks to close. That's part of what makes this hobby is finding these stupid roadside parks and getting a couple credits and being in and out of there in an hour. That's part of being a coaster enthusiast. That's some of the most fun park visits I've had, is those stupid visits. So please get out to Niagara Amusement Park, give them some money, get on Silver Comet, because seriously, that's a top 10 wooden coaster.
That was a good coaster.
I I love that ride. But
It's a good stop to, go
it's
when you're
$30.
coming back from Niagara Falls
Yeah.
or
It's,
Canada's Wonderland. It's, stop there
don't
for a
worry
few
about how much
hours.
time it's going to take, because you'll be there an hour and you'll get on everything you want, and that's fine.
And our friend Dean got the cornbread that was like freshly like homemade cornbread.
Deep fried cornbread.
Yeah, yeah, and that was really freaking good. Like I don't think I've ever had cornbread like that.
And all the buildings have really nice air conditioning. That's good.
They do. They
And
do.
speakers work really well in the front of the park.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to make fun of them, but I don't feel right doing it. But
Right.
it's
Yeah.
get out there and ride those rides before you don't get those
Like I said, give the park like 5 years and see, what happens and see.
But
in the meantime, make sure
visit.
If you're listening to this podcast, make sure you visit them. It's
$30.
$30.
Free
Buy
parking.
a souvenir. I bought a magnet and a shot glass, and I think Kyle bought a few stickers and things like that. But
like
I did.
$2.
yeah, every little bit helps and things like that. You never know what's going on at the park, and like I said, like I just see through the sadness that we saw, and I was like, there was cheer like in the employees, and it looked like they were happy to be there. And the midways were really nice. They were nicely paved and stuff. They just need to hire maybe one more person to put some rides together or something that they don't currently. Maybe there's one person doing it all, and he's like, I don't know what to do.
Some of these rides looked like Gene Staples and his gang of misfits went to a local carnival in the middle of the night and picked up a ride and put it in his truck and ran away with it. I don't want to be mean, but good Lord.
Yeah. It's just visit the park, support the park, ride the rides that you want to ride, and definitely enjoy the day. But Kyle,
and go to Canadas Wonderland and Waldemere on the way.
Yes. Kyle, do you want to add anything else before we close it out?
Nope.
Oh, all right. Well,
that was easy.
Make sure you buy your pass tomorrow when they go on sale. I don't know what time they're going on sale. They could be going on sale at midnight. They could be going on sale at 9 a.m. I don't know.
Who knows?
But Kyle, I believe you are frozen, my friend. But if you want to start the closing credits and yeah.
All right. Be sure to tune in next week. That's all I got. Have fun, guys.
Good to be back this week. Carson said we'll be back next week with probably everything having to do with Cedar Point passes and all that good stuff. And then I'm off to Universal after that. So see ya.
And make sure you share this podcast with all of your friends, and make sure you rate us. And we really appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks for tuning in to the Rundown on Fun. Don't forget to follow us on social media for all the latest updates from Six Flags Entertainment. And remember, always be kind to your ride operators. See you soon.